of a...
Hello, buddy. Yeah, it's sunny here, bro. Good, mate. You good? Live on the internet. All right, most of it. All right. It's my son home, Tom.
What's up, dude?
Hello, mate.
Give some biceps, mate.
What are you gonna get out there and do today?
Chest and tries today.
All right. Don't get too swolled up now. You save some women for the rest of us.
I'll save some for you, don't worry.
All right.
Yeah. All the ones that have got no hair and stuff, you can have all of them.
Oh no. I'm glad all my fishing days are over.
Mine too, bro. Mine too. Hey, Fagan, how you doing, bro?
Nope.
Loan some muscles to your dad. I've got my own, bro. Don't you worry about that.
Don't get it twisted, though. I'll come and take yours as well.
That's right, bro. He knows this. We're at a certain age now. We can do the daughters and the mothers. We know this.
Hey, them youngins, I tell you.
You don't have to tell me.
They just got to be at least 25. That's all.
That's where I'm at now. I go around to see a bird now, and a mum starts talking to me. I'm like, I don't know what to do now. Yeah? Hey. You put me in a predicament now. Send your daughter down the shop.
Hey, I tell you what. There ain't nothing wrong with a good mum. They might learn you something.
Well, I've told him if you want to know what your girl looks like, look at the mum.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
If the mum don't look good at 50, your girl ain't going to either.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'll just go and kiss the dad to make sure as well.
Yeah.
I've raised him up good, man. He knows the drill.
Hell yeah. Hey, good people do that, though, you know?
That's right. You know, there's not many of us around as single fathers, and when you see the results of children from a single father, and then you see the results of children from a single mother, that there's a stark difference.
Well, it's night and day because of the belief system, you know?
That's right.
And if you can find two good parents, mother and father, that's even better. But I tell you what, it's hard to find anymore.
It is, yeah.
The system is set up to separate. So
of course, it breaks down the family on purpose, so the system can then assume the husbandry role over the family.
And the fucked up part is 90% of it is because of money, you know. So
absolutely. That's what those registration certificates are for, like marriage certificates and birth certificates. They are all for money.
I was just watching on this fucking idiot pocket TV of this mother that was crying because the dad was holding the baby and playing music and rocking the baby, and she said, "Oh, this child just had all its shots." And of course, I had to comment because my son had all his shots, and I seen a night and day difference, and my daughter didn't. And I'll tell you what, the two are. You can see the difference. I can.
Pork and cheese, absolutely, brother. None of my offspring are vaccinated for that very, very reason. None of my children have got autism or ADHD or ABCD or EFG. They've been diagnosed with no thing because I won't let them be chemically bombarded by this system that they call.
And did you know part of the thing on this interweb shit that we're doing right now? It states right in there you're not allowed to talk about that shit.
Absolutely, it does, yeah. So it's a good job that we're not.
I don't give a fuck. I'll put my toes on the line. I did get monetized the other day, though. But I had to show them my ID, which I don't give a fuck about that. But we'll see how long it lasts. Because I'm not going to hold my tongue. It's just, I'll say whatever I know as much as I know.
Well, we have a natural way of talking, don't we? And we can't start talking unnaturally for the sake of $1. Fuck their dollar.
Yep, fuck them. It's just crazy. Robin's at the market right now buying fucking bullshit. The power went out here for 6 hours last night, and I was hoping,
Lord.
let this be the big power outage, please.
Let it be the one.
Yep. But it wasn't, of course. I don't think they can let that happen because that would be utter chaos in the cities for sure. Especially if it's in winter and that. The uncertainty would kill most.
Oh, certainly. Because they don't have this little security blanket of the government over them.
This
Hi,
false
Cheyenne.
the false
Welcome
sense
in.
of security.
Exactly. Their security blanket that means jack shit.
They'll,
Welcome in, Cheyenne Sings. Good to see you, sister. I am subscribed to you, girl. I do drop into your lives now and again. I do leave a like for you. Good to see you in here. Thank you for coming by.
Yep. So was that your youngest there?
Yeah, my youngest son, yeah. I mean, it's not my youngest child. My youngest child is my daughter. She's 21.
Right.
But this is my youngest son. He's 29.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then
he was
my other
born
son is
2006-ish, 2007.
this lad here. No, he was born 1996.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. 96. That makes me
Yeah,
old when I say shit like that.
exactly.
96. So that I might have a son out there, and I don't pursue it because I know the politics involved, but he'd be around the same age.
Okay.
And when I only seen him once, and she brought him over to my house, and my mom pulled out a baby picture, and man, I tell you what. But that was the only time. And then I seen him a couple times pictures in his teens, and I was like, holy fuck. But there's no denying this face, you know? Look at my
The
kids.
apple does not fall far from the tree, brother.
No.
I mean, look at my lad there. You can't deny that he's mine, can I?
No. But what do you do? What do you do?
You do the best you can do, and it's all we
When I
can
got
do.
out of prison, I did ask around in that, but it went 0. So I just left it alone. I thought, well, if he wants to know bad enough, I'm fucking not very far away from the conception site.
That's right. Well, my eldest son is the one that owns the boat. I've just done the decking with him, you know. He's the one that's just lost the baby.
Yeah.
Been sad times for him, but we're on the up and up now, you know.
Yep. Try again.
Yeah. And it's those sad times in life, you know, where they haven't got a mother to turn to. They've only got me. And so I'm their rock, their solace, their foundation, their knowledge, everything. I'm all in one to them, and they always contact me in these times, and that's why I've not been on the tube. I've been there with them, you know.
Hell yeah, and that's why when you you're hell bent to come here, and I'm like, God, I don't know if I could do that. I don't at all costs. I don't know if I could leave my kids, even if they were grown. You know?
Yeah, they're all grown. They can come to me, bro.
Yeah, right. That's a
Yeah.
positive.
Yeah, they can come to me. They're all well off. They've all got good jobs. That they all can afford to live comfortably. And if they wanted to come and see me, that's something that they could just do. You know, it's not.
And
It
then
wouldn't be a struggle for.
another good part about thinking like that is then it puts me in my mindset of maybe I need to start letting go already, because before too long they'll be out, you know, they'll be on their own, you know. Because right now I live my life around them 2 fucking kids, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I putter around here, but I don't go too far. I mean, I can see all the way over there as far as I go, you know.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Through the trees. I don't need to go nowhere.
Right.
But not that would change. I just, you know, I'd have to buy a new chair probably, but
I'll make you one.
I tell you what, there's been a lot of people wanting one of these right here.
Oh, the benches. I've got one out the back. Yeah, for sure. We have.
And
They're all They're all at the pubs here in the beer gardens.
Yeah, here too.
But that's a
they
nice
buy
one.
cheap ones for the.
I was going to say that's not no cheap shit that like you get down the pub. You know, that's a nice one.
That's maple and cherry and beach. Did you have fun? I just went and cut wood.
Yeah, how fun was that in the blowing wind?
It was snowing.
It was snowing up in the county too. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Robin. You okay, love?
Yep, doing good.
Awesome. Awesome sauce.
I didn't hear you.
Awesome.
Awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce. How's your back doing?
It's okay. It's as good or as bad as it always is, you know. Hopefully, May will soon be here and I'll be getting the surgery.
Good. But then
Hopefully,
you got to procure a plane ticket.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have that now if I had a date already. I would give it 6 weeks after that and book a flight already. But I don't have a date.
It's gonna be fun.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to giving old Tom Ass a hand because he desperately needs one.
He does desperately need one that's not my hand or my ear.
Settle down.
You can get yelled at while you're helping him build.
It's different language between men and women.
Do you know how many times I have marched across the street all pissed off and then 10 minutes later like, okay, he's by himself, so I better go back and help him.
And then I say, what the fuck are you come back over here for?
Well, exactly, and that's the difference. And that's
I got
the
a
difference
sandwich.
between a man.
Okay.
And that's the difference between a man and a woman's language.
Yes. Very much so.
Yeah. I think
only the strong survive around here.
Absolutely. It's the endearment and the passion that raises up the cursive text, I think. Is my dog out there? No, come on, girl.
It looks like it's nice and sunny there.
Oh, it's lovely.
And green.
Very warm. Yeah, my front garden. My little VW. I don't know if you can see.
It's so lush and green there.
Yeah.
Too bad you couldn't ship that over.
Yeah, I'll leave it. I'll sell it. And it's no good over there. The steering wheel's on the wrong damn side.
Right.
And it's a stick shift. Nobody else would be able to drive it. I wouldn't be able to borrow it to anybody.
Her
None
car,
of you guys know what to
shift.
She drives stick.
Do you, my girl?
Yeah, when them kids came here, she had to bring it in for something. 2 young kids came here, and I was sitting here going, what the fuck is their problem? They got out, came back in, and said, we can't drive this back. We don't know how to drive stick. I just fucking lost it.
I have had 3 stick shift cars since I've had my license. Helps me pay attention when I'm driving.
That ain't all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know why they even stopped making
most women in England use their vehicles to straighten their face and put on their makeup in the mornings. It's all I ever seem to see in traffic. Women putting on lipstick and eyeshadow and goodness knows. They're all forever in their mirror in their cars here.
Well, I get a little bit of chin hair that I gotta put.
That's padding.
Thanks, Daddy. I come from a hairy Scott, Irishman, Frenchman.
Well, my roots are Scottish. I'm a Viking.
Yep. I'll get over there someday for sure. That's on my agenda.
Well, if you ever need to come over to these ways, you're always welcome to come and stop at my yard, obviously free of charge for as long as you want, and just come on over and stay, no problem.
I would love
If you're over here, how the fuck is that going to happen?
Well, you'll have to get here first, you damn Wally. And I'll come back with you. Hey, Mandy. Hey, Melissa.
Hey, it's going to be years before we go any fucking where.
Well, you've got these children, you see. That's what happens.
Yeah, some people forget. And when I say some people, I mean it's standing over my shoulder.
I can get passports and we're allowed to travel.
Don't get me started.
I had a passport. It's just been expired since 2011.
Well, I've never had a passport. I've recently applied for my passport only 12 months ago. I've never had one.
Yeah, I've been to 11 countries, but not since 2004. So it's been
A little while ago, 20 years, yeah.
It was when I was young and free.
Yeah, I seen the pictures.
Switzerland.
Hey, Cindy, welcome in. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm gonna go put that meat in the freezer. Should I put some in the crock pot? Do you want?
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. Come. The dog's out here, and she brought a whole chicken thigh out with her because she likes to eat her food in the garden.
Hell yeah, she ain't dumb.
No.
Animals are some of the smartest motherfuckers out there.
My dog only eats freshly cooked chicken. She won't eat dog food. I don't feed her dog food. That's for dogs.
Right. My dogs were spoiled to shit too, but they were both 100 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
I would probably get a little dog again, but no time soon.
Yeah.
I got a hard enough
Hello
time
there.
with these cats around here, killing every fucking thing.
Little Mo. Hey, my little Mo-fifine. Hey, there you go. We're all saying hello to each other. There you go. There is a house in New Orleans. They call the Rising Bum. And it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know, because I am one. My mother was a tailor.
She sold
My new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans.
Yeah, it was so nice down at the beach the other day. I wanted to stay out there all night. It was the second good day we had here, and it was only 64 degrees.
Yeah.
But this coming up week, it's going to be at least 70.
Yeah, I think our warmest day here is tomorrow. And it's supposed to rise to 25 degrees C. I don't know what that is in your money. Around 80 maybe.
Yeah.
But I love the musical duo.
All our grass is just starting to get green. And that poor chicken out there.
Fresh.
That poor chicken out there is something else.
Oh, yeah.
He's living through it. Oh, I got respect for that chicken right there.
There you go.
There you go.
You've got a chicken in your garden, chicken in my garden. The damn dog eats a lot.
That's fucking great. That's a good. You know what he's doing? Because I bring the ducks and that out there, them babies, and I put them in that little cage. And since he's seen them, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be waiting."
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Rick, welcome in, brother. So 25 degrees C is 77. There you go. Thanks, Rick. I knew it was nearly 80. I knew I weren't far off.
Yeah.
It'll be 80 on Thursday.
80 tomorrow we're going to be. Back, my dad is unfortunately drinking the horrid his pretty. Oh Lord. Well, I hope everything goes well for him, Mandy. Send my thoughts and my prayers for him.
When I was 29, I was just getting out of prison. I was 204 pounds.
Look at that. Just like his Papa Bear.
What's he benching?
What do you do?
Yeah, what you do? He's going to do a conversion for you now because we bench over in kilograms. We know you do pounds.
Yeah, 2.2 pound, 2.2 pounds to a kilo, 1,000 grams. Don't ask me how I know.
My maximum that I bench is. My maximum that I bench is 260 pounds.
Nice.
And then that's on just on flat bench, and I go on dumbbells and stuff, and I get the dumbbells. I go to and my dumbbells in each arm. I do 90-pound dumbbells in each arm on incline bench as well.
Nice. Keep it up.
Yeah,
always
40 kilos.
change your grip.
Yeah, I do. It's just all about your form. Put your thumb under the bar or over the bar, and I put it over the bar.
Over, under, all that. Sideways. I got my son's 8 years old, and I used to train guys in prison. And what?
Absolutely.
He's already telling me, Dad, get down, let's do our push-ups. I'm like, fuck.
Well, I've taught him. He gets himself some different sized women, and that's what helps him with his grip.
I'm telling you.
You get yourself a big old girl, and you call her someone else's name, and you cling on for dear life while she tries to buck you off, and that's what builds up your strength.
Don't get me started.
That's called the English rodeo.
English rodeo.
We call that shooting the breeze.
You give me that reverse cowgirl, and you call them a different name, and then you cling the fuck on, bro. See how you get on.
When you get good at it, you'll be able to give her a fish hook and then see how you can hang on.
Come on.
I actually have a bunch of free weights out back there. I use them to hold down plants and stuff. But I had a weight bench and all that. Because when I got out, I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this. Yeah, right.
Yeah. All best intentions.
I really should do it a little bit here and there just because it's not gonna hurt me, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, as we get up in age, Rick, it starts to slip away from us, bro. If we don't use it, we lose it.
Yeah. Well, if I wasn't hauling the wood like I do, I mean, I moved 30 cord of wood twice this year,
Yeah.
Plus wielding that chainsaw. So if it wasn't for that, I'd be a lump of shit. And if it wasn't for her trying to keep me healthy,
he'd definitely be a lump of shit.
I'd be 2 lumps of shit. That looks like the apartment I did for Nagelkirk's, hey, with everything right in there. Did you ever see that one?
I saw pictures. I think I didn't go there.
Not that one. The different one.
Cheers. Yeah, so he's gone out there now without his little shirt on. It's warm enough here to have your shirt off, but obviously when you texted me to say, shall we go live, I was sat on the doorstep with my tits out. I've had to go and put my T-shirt on to come on here.
Yeah.
You can have your tits out online.
I know, but listen, I'm not even joking, Robin. I cause enough controversy while I'm dressed. The last thing I need today is to be getting my titties out and causing myself all sorts of controversy.
She's just saying that because she wants to get hers out.
I like to have no top on the beach sometimes.
you have to go put on his bra for his life. Yeah, you're damn right. My girdle. Cheers.
I was searching the interweb for boat motors today, and I
Okay.
started looking for a 115 horse boat motor. It's like $13,000. Well,
Oh,
guess how
Lord.
much for a brand new boat, pontoon boat like I got with a 115 horse motor is like $34,000. You're better off to just buy the new fucking
Buy
boat.
the damn boat. Yeah, man.
And then I was looking at the prices from a 40 horse to 115 horse. It fluctuated $4,000. I'm like, where the fuck's the math going here?
Where does that happen? That's right. Same size engine, just a different internal.
Well, it was all the same boat. You just switched the motor.
Exactly.
They're ripping us off for sure, because you know damn well it ain't worth fucking 10 grand. When I bought my
No
side by
freebie.
side, I told that lady, I said, how much you want for this $30,000 boat? And she was like, 30, that's 70 grand. And I just about puked in my mouth.
I'll bet you.
Joke.
They just make. Where do they get these numbers from? These numbers are like phone numbers, and I thought, what's the phone? No, that's the price. I'm like, oh Lord.
And then you go try to trade it back in, they want to give you half.
Oh, less than half, bro. Less than half, because they want to sell it for maximum profit again.
I should have sold that Dodge truck back to them fuckers when they were having that spiel over them vehicles. For a minute there, I could have got more than I paid for it, and I was like, nah, because then if I want another one, I won't be able to afford it. And that's why it just sits over there, because I fucked up. I fucked up.
Now you didn't fuck up, bro. All you done was taught yourself a lesson.
Yeah, we can grow them. I still got some out there. Why are they bad? Yeah, that's fine. We can throw them in the ground. They're not squishy, but yeah, I tried to do garlic last fall. Well, some grub worm ate 90% of them, fuckers.
Good.
But the 5 or 6 that are left out there are getting big. But that's another thing people don't realize. If you don't know nothing about growing food, you'll starve yourself that first year, you know?
You are damn straight. What to grow, what in what season? If you don't know, you are going to starve.
Yeah, people think, oh, I'll just do a garden and I'll no, bitch, you're gonna die.
No, that's right. Because people can go to the store and buy strawberries in December, they think that's real.
Yeah.
They think that's okay. So you come home and start trying that same shit, you are going to absolutely fail massively. You will return to the dust as soon as you finish that escapade, because you're not going to get.
Only that, a lot of them store-bought and shit, you can't even use the seeds that they got in them.
Well, in this country, they've already got things like seedless grapes and seedless all these fruits that are genetically modified with no seeds in them. Well, it says in the Bible that every fruit-bearing seed and everything after its kind, and that's why they're genetically modifying these things. And so we have to go to their resource. We can't use our own, and that's what it's all about for the money, you know.
It's a
Qatar
shame.
roof pusher. The United Kingdom has censored, threatened, arrested, and intimidated tens of thousands of young girl victims of grooming gangs if they speak up about the Muslim men. It's true. And there is also acts and statutes in this country where children that are kept in the care service, they are not allowed legally to speak out against any form of abuse under the age of 16. And
there's a lot of countries that are out there just fucking pillaging the people, man. Look at China. They're having a revolt right now over the tariffs, and good for them. I'm glad. Get them.
Mm-hmm.
Overthrow them cocksuckers. How dare you make your own people suffer like that? And then tell them you're doing them a favor. You're keeping them safe.
Absolutely. The government likes to band about this word terrorist and terrorism. And when you look in the dictionary at the word terrorist, what it actually means is a government that turns on its own people. That's the true definition of a terrorist, and that's why they like banding that word around.
Yeah.
Because it's truly them that are the terrorists. They are the pirates on this land, bringing their water laws, their admiralty and other water jurisdictions that have no purpose here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I correlate everything to prison because I grew up a little more in my life while I was in prison. I was in there in a crucial time, you know. 22 to 29 is a crucial time for a young man, especially here or anywhere. And it's all correlates, man. It's so funny how it all correlates. And people don't realize that we're actually in control, but most of us are scared. And by us, I mean people, you know?
Yeah.
Scared of their own fucking shadow.
That's right.
Scared to go without this false sense of security for a minute. When we could actually all together make it better, but we're bound by past tense pretenses.
Well, the thing is, we are taught that the Roman Empire is history. Well, in actual fact, it's actually still in rule to this very day. And
Absolutely.
the canon and ecclesiastical ruling that's attached to that is pertained to every person, which is a birth certificate. And that's how the government impose their rules on a person. And you always use the word person. And when you look at the dictionary, a person is one who wears a mask or an actor. Nothing to do with the living flesh and blood man.
There's an aura around this thing we call the circle of life, and it consists of all the real things.
That's right. All emanating from the tree of life, from the center of us. All is within. Nothing is external.
But if they taught that, they couldn't be no more in power. So,
of course, they couldn't, because we would have our own power. We take back our own rights. We are subjugated at the age of 7. We are cast adrift, dead at sea.
Well, it would be true, actual freedom, is what it would be, and they just can't have that because then they'd be at the bottom. The king would be on the other end.
Well, we are the kings. That's why.
Exactly.
This is our kingdom. What is God? God is grantor of dominion. We have dominion over the earth. Not these servants, these public and civil servants that we seem to be bowing down to as authority. We are their authority. They are there to serve us. That's what they are salaried to do. But that capacity is misconstrued, and we seem to think it's the opposite way around for some reason. That's what makes us daft.
Well, they built it up in this so-called business, and they got most people trapped in it. And it's called debt.
USA is a corporation. It's not a country.
Exactly. That's why Washington, D.C. is separate from everything.
Well, Washington, D.C. is the state of Columbia, and that's a part of the trilogy that run the world. They've got the Vatican, the state of Columbia, and Babylon, or Baby London. It's London that are the finances, the US are the military, and the Vatican are the rules. They say who we're getting today. That's how this world is run.
Well, the U.S. went so far in debt with the Civil War, and that's where the big meat hooks came in for the second portion of this fucking eternal nightmare. Mm-hmm. The banks, and that's why they put all them people on the Titanic and sunk it, because they were opposition.
Well, the banks are what's holding the water. The banks holding the ebb and flow of the river. You know, we are the currency. We are led to believe that the money is currency. We are the currency. We are the ebb and the flow. Without us, there is no currency.
And the debt just keeps going up.
Of course it does, because of reserve fractional banking. Every $1 that's deposited, they then loan out 90 cents of it. They only have to keep 10% in reserves. That's what reserve fractional banking is. And if you tie that up with quantitative easing, add in some inflation, some other taxes and whatever else, it leaves us with nothing. But they say slavery is abolished.
We're all in shackles with many links of the past.
You better believe it, bro, you know. Because we go voluntary now, it's voluntary servitude, and that's why they say they've illegalized slavery. It's bullshit. Even more distracted more early through monies in the mineral rights and the land ownership and real estate. Exactly what is real estate? And there is no such thing as land ownership. You cannot own land. You can only have a possessory right.
It cost me every bit of $300 just to possess my land across the street.
And you don't possess it because it's
Every
still across
month.
the street. It's
Every
not in
month.
your pocket, is it? How can you possess it? It's crazy, isn't it? You know? If I go and lay my head there, you can't lay your head there because I'm in the way. That's possessory right. When I've got up and woken, you can have it after me. As simple as that. That's how it works.
There's fine details where I could make up to $13,500 or something tax-free, which would cover the costs. But that's work too, and that costs money to make money. You know, it's so stacked up against the average man that no wonder everyone feels like they're drowning.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. They can't keep the head above water.
And if you're no good with...
And all of these saying they can't keep your head above water, I'm only just treading water. It's because it's all the water laws, the maritime admiralty ruling that the government imposes on us, which is out of the jurisdiction. It's wrong. That's what makes it fraudulent.
Yeah. And the only reason I know these things is because I was chance enough to befriend people that knew better. Had I stayed in the prison mentality and came out and just hung with fucking slums, I'd be right back down. I wouldn't have nothing. I wouldn't have built a business, but the mind created my way, you know? And now, because of whatever reason, my mind's being taken from me, so I'm just lucky to have what I have. And I keep saying that it's fucking COVID and the government, because I felt 100% until then. So
absolutely. I mean, I don't really need to know whether you took the jab or not because it's not my business.
I
But
didn't.
all I was going to say, all I do know is that those that didn't have fared better than those that did. So imagine if you did take it, you know.
I'd be one of the dead ones. No,
Yeah.
I didn't. None of my fam, nobody.
No, none of mine have
my
either.
ex-wife's side didn't take the jab.
No, I haven't. Me nor my children. None of us have taken anything from this government. No, thank you.
That's not to say I didn't think about it a couple times, because uncertainty is just so. Like,
Absolutely.
what the fuck is going on? And I tell you what, a lot more people would have had they not have mandated the shit.
Well, this is it. It's common knowledge. What is in the flu jab? Flu.
I've taken that one time in my life, and I got violently ill, and that was a projectile to me not to take anything again.
Exactly, because what's in it? You know, what's in the cancer jab? What's in the flu jab? There's cancer and flu. What's in the COVID jab? Oh, COVID. You know, there's only one way to get it, and let them give it you.
To me, though, the jab I wasn't scared of because I was a needle user at one time in my life, you know? So I was like, fuck, I put worse shit. I fucking shot dope with mud puddle water before. So, you know, that was my mentality. But the fact that they mandated it even threw me more to fuck you, you know? So I'm not going to lie and say that I wouldn't have taken it no matter what. It's just turned out that way, you know?
Well, I have to stand on my morals, bro, and I'm going to say to you now what I said then under no uncertain terms. I don't care for the consequences. I am not taking your chemicals. I don't care. Jail me, fine me, do what you wish. I'm not taking nothing that I don't want to. Fuck off.
Well, that's where I'm at now and have been for a long time. Yeah, it's crazy world that you can't. The truth is forgotten or looked down upon, or
that's right. And when you do tell the truth, you are made out to be mad or some sort of or techno-noticism is mad. He's talking rubbish. That's how we're seen when you are spitting truth.
Yeah.
Because of this world, fact is stranger than fiction. Simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Because I wouldn't comply, yeah, man. Listen, I wouldn't worry about money. Money can't buy life. Money can't buy health. Money can't buy wealth. You know, stick to what we're doing, man. Let them plagues pass by our door. Fuck the retirement money. Fuck the banking system. 1970s. Well, COVID was patented in the 50s. It's just that we're on strain number 19 now. That's what the CIA says too. Yeah. Cigarette. The Federal Reserve is in liquidation. That's what the Federal Reserve is. Yes, Qatar. Exactly. Yep. And what you will actually find is in your country since 1933, when the Gold Standard Act was invoked in your country in 1933, That's when they removed any intrinsic value from the currency. It now is backed by nothing. It's just a promise to pay. And that's why since 1933, the Federal Reserve is acting insolvency. It's in liquidation. They are bankrupt because there is nothing backing the dollar. It is all a fucking belief system. Like
well, it's turned into the gold standard for after that, but
there is no gold back in the currency, bro. There is no intrinsic value. It's a negotiable instrument. That's all as it is.
Did I say gold?
And when
It was turned into the oil standard, though.
Yes, oil standard. And when we look at the bills of exchange, it has nothing to do with money.
And they don't even got that anymore. That's why they're so afraid of the BRICS nations.
There you go, you see. Beautiful Nicole. Hello, my girl. Here she is.
The only thing we do have in this hyperinflated world is workers, and we're losing them too by the droves because our school systems.
Yeah.
We're terrible. Our kids are idiots. And our parents are idiots. You know, so what the fuck are you gonna do?
Exactly. Yes,
the only
Joe,
thing they ever did keep was the right to bear arms, and that's saving our fucking knickers.
Mm-hmm. And we all have that right anyway. We all have that right. Even in England, it's illegal to hold a gun here, but you come into my home and try and tax me, I'm going to shoot you in the face because that's my defense. That's good, eh? My beautiful Nicole, eh?
Why don't you take your ass to work there, eh?
Have you heard Nicole when she does an impression of you?
Oh yeah,
She
she's pretty good.
Bro, she has got your accent nailed. She makes me smile every time.
Yeah, there. That's because she watched Fargo when she was younger a lot.
Right, eh?
Don't you know? And I tell you what, there's some bum gumping people around here that just are unbelievable. Oh yeah, they're in the sauna and you go back there, and they're rough. You think I got an accent? I was watching a TV show one time, and they came through the UP here, and they found the most gum bumping hillbilly bastard to be on there. And me and my buddy were watching it, and we were actually in a different state, and we're like, "Oh, the UP's on there! Look at that!" And this guy started talking, and we looked at each other like, "There's our representation."
You're damn straight. Where are you guys from?
No.
The guy with the guitar is from the USA and Michigan, and the guy without the guitar is from England. I'm a Scotsman in England. Oh, don't you know?
Just so we can have them for the week.
But I'm like 26, 27. I thought I was the Qatar. For your age, you have a good level of knowledge, and you have a fair share of intelligence. Fair play to you, young man. Keep it up.
Yeah, because they're going to shrink half the size, probably.
Now, it is Rick. It's all a promise to pay. There is no intrinsic value to any currency. It is all a promise to pay. And that's why we need to be looking at the bills of exchange. Because when we look at the bills of exchange, we're exchanging pieces of paper with our signature on. We are settling for one another. It's got nothing to do with money. You know, we need to be looking at this. If you know how to operate through the bills of exchange, you'll be able to save your money because you can settle claims made against your fictitious legal entity, your person, via that way.
The only reason America's at the top of the list for the most part is because we're bastard children of the world, and all the best of the best came here to get away from there. And that's the only reason we're at the top of the list. But that also makes us a target.
Well, you won't be targeted like that unless it's fictitious and made up like the world is, because that country is still owned by the British Empire. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what any Americans wish to feel about that. I'm not here to attack you all. It's just the case of what it is.
Well, it's always been a tug of war, though. And the road to hell was paved in good intentions, and the briberies over time have made it tilt one way or another. And that's why these presidents have been killed over the years, too.
Mm-hmm. But who needs president of what? They're a president of a nation. They're not a president of a people. They're
Well,
operating a business.
over here we don't see it that way. Over here we want to believe that it's for the people, and that's how Donald Trump got in there.
I fully respect that, but I'm afraid it's just not the truth because they have drafted in a businessman because they are operating a business. It's nothing to do with politics. That's why there's no politicians. We've got a businessman running a company. The USA is a company. It's
And
registered.
that's why Donald Trump is the best choice, because he is a businessman and not a politician.
Exactly, and hopefully, but the trouble is with this businessman, Mr. Trump. He he is fallible too. Mo, be quiet.
Oh
He
yeah,
is
nobody's saying he's not perfect. Hell no, nobody is.
no,
But
but no. All I'm saying is, but what I mean by fallible is if he doesn't do or say what he's told to do and say, he'll end up like the other presidents that do what they were told and said. They get the face shot off by the same people.
yeah,
People
and that
have
almost happened,
forgotten.
didn't it?
He's just playing a part. He is paid to play a part. And if you all think that it's genuine, that's one thing. I've got my beliefs, and you're all up there watching this play on a stage. You're all watching theatre. And if you genuinely think this man can turn things around, I have fears about that. That's all I'll say.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of people have fears about that, because the real motherfuckers over here, we will tear this bitch up if it ain't. And it's about
Exactly.
there. So that's where it's
Exactly.
at.
Because listen, my bro, Trump is ruled and governed and operated by Zionists. He is not in control. There is men around him that have more power than he does. Just because he signs the book, he still needs their consent. That's what Congress is for. And we know that it is all corrupt.
Well,
It's not
the
that
problem that they have right now is they can't hide anything like they used to. So the shit is
no,
coming out, and it's
but
going to come out one way or another. So
yes.
let it
It's a
be what it
shame.
is.
It's a shame that as the president of your country doesn't have the outright power just to make a decision. He can't just come up and do something and make something better for the country without everybody else's involvement. And
Well,
that's where
that's
the
why
corruption
that's
lays.
why I say the road to hell was built on good intentions, because that in the beginning the forefathers created the Constitution and all that for good purpose. It's just that they left cracks like anybody. You can't mend a wall with concrete and not have it porous, you know? You're going to get water through it unless you create these membranes and stuff. These impenetrable membranes, but I don't think there is such a thing when it comes to politics. So you're always going to have the good and bad in these things. But
And there you go. Qatar has just hit it on the head. He says, I agree. Trump at least has to ask 3 Jews first. And because
yeah,
it's the Ashkenaz that are ruling this at the moment. And I don't talk about that much, but that's the real hidden hand behind all of this political world. You know, it's a sense of democracy aboard their dictatorship. They are going to do what they are going to do anyway. They just give us a sense of choice, like we have a sense of belonging, so that we keep working, we keep paying taxes, we keep paying for their lifestyle. Because if we knew the truth, we would already be up in arms, we would already be at their yards and shot their fucking heads off like they deserve.
no, not true, because there's too many scared people.
Exactly, but they ought to be standing side by side. It should already have been stopped by now because what's happening isn't right. And we can't rely on one man that's having his strings pulled by a hidden hand to turn things correct in a
No,
corrupt system. We know how corrupt the system
nobody
is.
relies on one man. You know, that's not how we see it. That's not how I see it. All right,
No,
he's a part of a
to
cog in a
rely on
wheel.
one man is to vote for one man. You can all only vote for like either Biden or Trump or whomever you can only vote for. We're having this
It's
vote
not
for
even
one man.
about that. The thing is the people got to get involved right at their fucking town hall down there. That's where you make the change. It's not
That's
about up
right.
to the top. You
No,
don't look to
no.
the top for every fucking thing. You look
So
at the roots.
if we all made that change locally, and then the local authorities, the local governments, the local consulates, councils was all under the same pressure, they would have to fold.
Yeah, and
Because
the problem with anywhere, it don't matter what fucking country you're in, as you get into those positions, they're corrupted from within. So you
absolutely,
got to go right the fuck down there. You got to get the roots of the tree to stop the leaves from falling the fuck off.
that's right. That's right. You cut it down from the base, not from the top.
So, I mean, it's really that simple. But people overthink things and bring it to places it don't need to go. The snake bit you, cut his fucking head off, you know? But it's not that easy.
Because everything is so corrupted, everything is so tainted that their tentacles stretch far and wide. There isn't a thing of this world that isn't corrupted by them. I've searched, I've seeked diligently. I'm 51 years old and I cannot find a thing that isn't corrupted by them.
Well, and that's, you know, and I would say, yeah, it is. It's the family, but they've got that, haven't they?
They've got
it's
that
so
through the marriage
simple yet
system.
so hard.
They've got that through the marriage system. When we get married this day and age and you sign that marriage certificate, that automatically puts you as father of the household and the wife becomes daughter. In the Catholic ruling system, which is what it is, this marriage system, you are marrying your daughter. You are not the husband, but the father. And that is how the government assumes the husbandry role over the family. And that's why the CPS can come and take your children when they feel like it, because they have assumed that over you, because you have misconstrued what the capacities are by signing their fictitious document. That's how sick this world is.
Yep. It's
Yet it's been
craziness.
born into a cult. Exactly that. Hi, Kayla. Hope you're well, girl. And more of us need to know about it. More of us
Well,
need to know about it and stand up against it and push back. We need civil uprise. We don't need war. We don't need unrest like that. We just need to stand up and say no. Simple. All the offers that they send us, all the bills that they send us, say no. I don't owe it. Prove it. You're making a claim. Prove it. And that's how you start this stuff, by not paying them.
yeah, it's crazy. That's the key, you know. Do without for a little while. You're paying them to stand on your neck. That's the bottom line.
I haven't paid taxes since 2016. I haven't paid this country jack shit since 2016. I've told them to come and get me, come jail me, come bring me to a court and make a claim on me legally, lawfully, either way round. Because there is not a single law of our land that proclaims a man ought to be taxed.
Yeah.
It's all pertaining to a person. I'm not a person. And so if you're making these fictitious claims against me, anybody making a claim, if I went to court today, Tom, and claimed you owe me $10, I have to be able to prove that. He who makes claim has the burden of proof and must provide the remedy.
Well, let me tell you a story about that, because I was just gone through that a couple years back. I had a well drilled over there, and we came to terms by word of mouth, because that's what 90% of my business ever was. And this was for someone else, for my own property. And I was under the inclination that it would be X amount. And then he gave me a bill for 4 or 5 times the amount. And I told him, fuck you, come get the motherfucker. And he took me to court.
Right.
And I told them all the same thing. And guess what? They awarded him that money, even though there was no signed contract. I still said there, I sat there and said, you know what, you fucking cowards, still come get it. And I looked right at him and I said, you're a fucking piece of shit. Meet me outside. And he fucking ran away. But, you know, I still ain't going to pay him. And that's probably a mark on my credit report. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you,
Okay.
come get it. And he passes my house every day. And sometimes I point him out when I'm on here. Fuck that coward. Come get it. You and your brother. But they ain't gonna, you know.
No, you're right.
And I know they see that well drill out there every day because I park it by the road just because of that. Fuck you, you coward. You didn't do what you said you were gonna do. Otherwise, I would have fucking paid you.
Exactly.
And I gave him a lump sum of money at first too. But to come back and do that to me, I was furious.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there was no signed contract, and they still awarded that motherfucker. But you know what? I started reading some of the names in that courthouse. Some of the names on that wall were the same name as him. So what does that tell you?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a club membership card. Yeah. Fuck you.
Secret handshake,
Come
brother.
get that motherfucker and bring your friends with you.
They're all Masons. They're all a part of a fraternity, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say verbal contract. The actual terminology for it is tacit acquiescence, because you haven't read the small print or you haven't gone through the finer detail, and that's what
Well,
they've
that's just like my divorce. You know, we own 2 fucking houses, and she got a house, and they kicked me out of mine and threw me in jail for going to get my tools out of the fucking place I built with my very hands.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then I lost a job because they locked it up for almost a year. I couldn't go back there, and finally I had to get a court order to get the rest of my fucking tools out of my own shop. I was livid. I was. If I didn't have Tommy, there would be more people dead in this world, including myself. And that's a fact.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been that way.
To say they can't do something is fucking. It blew my mind because I worked so hard for all that shit, and then they took 3/4 of it and gave it away to this punk motherfucker. Yeah. So
I hadn't earned a damn dime of it.
So when people talk to me like, "Oh, get over it," fuck you, bitch. You know.
He who feels it knows it.
No fucking well. I don't want to hear no shit. But I do take things up in arms too, and that's why I don't play a lot. You know.
Me too. Bro, listen, I'm really loving, I'm really soft-natured, I'm very, very easygoing, right up until when I'm not. My God, because I'm such a big man anyway. God Almighty, if I fucking come for you, man, you're in trouble because I'm going to get you.
Well, not me. I'm dynamite, and it bleeds out. My aura shines. That's why I just try to do, stay to myself. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 51, Tom, and I've lived around here all my life, and the people around here, my reputation still precedes me from when I was in my 20s and when I was a bit ruthless and always in bar fights and always in squabbles, police locked, been to prison, all the things, And all of those years behind me, 25 years since, still follow me to this fucking day. And you know what, though, bro? I don't get no shit because of how I stood for myself in those days.
Yeah, I don't either. But it's,
Absolutely.
It's sad. It's sad to even have to act like that because things shouldn't have to have the stigma and the tension in this fucked up world. If it weren't for a dollar bill, we'd all be smiling, singing.
Well, that's it. This belief system, and it's just an absolute trickery on the mind, and it's legal slavery. It's voluntary servitude. Nothing has changed. We've gone from a ball and chain to where's my wallet? I'm holding a piece of plastic now. That's your ball and chain. You've got to keep this piece of plastic paid up and topped up and keep it going.
Well, there's a lot of incompetence out there too, and there you go. Their only building block is right there, a fucking credit card or a piece of money or something. Here, I can help you with this. What the fuck kind of help is that?
Here you go. Look at this. Look at this, bro. This is an English £5 note. It's £5, £5 sterling. And they say sterling, although it's not backed by sterling silver. This is backed by nothing. That is a picture of Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
He's the one that took us to war. He was just happened to be a 33rd degree Mason. That's by the by. Let's not get bogged down with any of that. Yeah. That's just what he was. But you can't see the writing on the note, but it clearly states across the bottom there where it says £5. And then in that small writing, it says, I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, sweat, and tears. It says it on the money. That's what this money is worth. Blood, toil, sweat, and fucking tears. written on the face of it. What does that tell you?
And guess how many World War II veterans are still alive over there?
Oh, probably half a dozen.
Yeah. You know, it's just we're stuck in chains of a cycle that fucking we can't break. And that's the only way to break them is sweat, fucking blood, and tears.
Here we go, bro. So that was a £5 note. This is a £10 note. English £10 note.
That one says refer to the £5 note.
Exactly. And they've all got this writing on the front that all say the same thing. Let me get another one.
Yeah, and you know what ours
That tiny writing there.
Yeah.
What says
refer to the Bible, ours says.
Yes, exactly. To your shekels. And what this says, I promise, is in very tiny writing, I promise to pay the bearer the sum on demand. I promise to pay the bearer the sum on demand. Whom is the bearer? Does this say the Bank of Andy? It says the Bank of England. Anything I buy with this negotiable instrument, that property that I purchase with this Bank of England note, the property then belongs to the bank because this is not my note. This is how the system works. Anything that is bought with this belongs to them. That's why they take it off us. The same with the
point of it is that's a shovel. That could be a shovel, you know? It's a tool. And that's where people get it wrong.
Yeah, it's a negotiable instrument. I mean, it says £5 on there, but somebody might give me $10 for it because they think it's worth more than 5. That's what happens in this crazy ass world of money. You can buy a 50-cent piece for $5. Who is going to pay $5 for 50 cents? What's going on? It's crazy. They have got people deluded over this damn thing, you know.
Well, you know, they're already doing that because they're saying a misprinted coin is worth double and thousands and this and that. It's all delusional.
So, how is that the fact when a real note isn't worth jack shit anyway? So how can a misprint then be worth even more jack shit? It's an absolute delusional fallacy.
It's all a delusional state of mind.
It certainly
you bring
is
your state and I'll give you no mind.
That's right. That's exactly what's happening, my bro. Yeah.
Yep.
You are all listening. All of you people in the chat listening to my brother and I today, you are all welcome. It is all the truth. I hope you've learned something. Exactly that, Cassie. Worth what someone will pay. Exactly that.
That's why you see these third world countries that are sitting on land worth something because they got minerals or whatever, and they're all dumbfounded, like, "What the fuck can't you just leave us be?" And they're like, "No, you guys got to get the fuck out of here,
bro." You are in a third world country.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We look outside thinking that third world countries are somewhere else. You and I are both in the motherfucking trucker.
Yeah. Well,
there's no two ways about that. Our technology is retarded. Our knowledge is retarded. We are all retarded by the same notion. We are all
we're so brainwashed and spoiled over here. They've got the pamper on us, and we don't even have mineral rights to the property we do sit on.
No,
without threaten of violence, you know,
and forfeiture and imprisonment and liberties. That's right. They are taking liberties. That's what they mean by that.
You know, I got to have a permit just to dig in a hole in the yard.
Well, I permit you, brother. How's that?
Yeah. I tell them, come get me.
Absolutely. I would tell them the same. I'm supposed to have permission for my workshop and my tool shed. I'm supposed to have permission for everything that I've done. I've done it all, and I've given myself the permission. Thank you. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need another grown-ass man to tell me what I can and can't do today. Thank you.
When I bought my land across the street from that logging company, I had to buy the trees with it.
Yeah, I remember you saying because of the worth in the lumber.
I was like, well, I could get it for this. No, fuck that. Do I want a barren landscape? No.
No, not at all.
So I had to buy the trees, you know. But being a carpenter, I can turn them into more money at fewer taken down than I could have got by selling them off to the logging company, you know.
Take it and replant some more. Then they'll be there when your kid your age.
Yeah, and it's already grown a lot since. But you got to everything is a tool, and that's the only way you can get ahead in this fucking world anymore. The other option is everybody revolts and we go into a fucking dark place for a while, and nobody wants that because they're too comfortable because of the design of things. And that's why we have suffer and we got heighten and we got the whole spectrum, because without it, we're all gonna be having to endure, and nobody wants to revert back to that, or the majority doesn't, because they're comfortable with their little coat on, you know, their little cloak of happy, what they call happy.
Yes, their veil of happiness. Hey, Kelly, welcome in, my girl. Yes, we love you too. Nice to see you. It's been a minute. Thank you for coming on by. Thank you, everybody, for coming on by today. Thank you all. We appreciate all of you.
Happily in debt. I don't like the feeling. It gives me a weird feeling.
I owe no man. I owe no man, no thing, Tom. There is not a man of this earth that I owe a single dime to.
Yeah,
So I don't have debt like that.
Me neither, unless you count the well guy.
Bro, the corporations now, that's a different matter. They may tell you that my corporate fiction is in debt, but I'm telling you that I, the man Andrew, owe no man, no thing. And that's why I'm still here. I'm not in jail. I'm not in court, because a corporation, a dead entity, cannot boss me about. A dead entity cannot lay claim on me. And that's why they won't bring me to court, because I know the fucking scam. I know the rules. And I will put them all on notice.
Because the U.S. is a franchise, so to say, we have these laws when we claim bankruptcy chapters. There's chapters of bankruptcy.
Well, it's
So
funny you should say that. Well,
you
there
still,
you go. Because you are the sole proprietor. We are not taught this. You are the sole proprietor of your estate, which is your birth certificate, your family trust, what we know as your family estate, real estate. You are the sole proprietor of that. And what's happened is the government has misconstrued the relationship in that trust. They have put you as the trustee,
and
which is
that's
there
why
to
they try to make you put everything into a
That's
separate
right.
trust
Now
bond
then,
and all that shit.
and what they have done is they've marked themselves as the beneficiary. And so that leaves it in court as a quasi trust. And the rules of trust are you don't have to know you're in a trust to be in a trust. I know it's perverse, but it's how it is. And once you then straighten out your relationship, your status, standing, and capacity within your birth certificate trust, you are the beneficiary and the state is the trustee. Once you have stated that and you put it on paper, they cannot dishonor you. And that's what I've done on my country. I've written an affidavit of truth and I've put my local council, my local police, everybody have all received the same notice that I'm not illegal fiction. And if you wish to make claim on the man, Andrew, then please do so. I'll see you in court. And I've not heard of any of them ever since. And because they haven't responded to me in legal land, when they don't rebuke me, they have accepted. It's called tacit acquiescence. They have accepted my claim because they haven't rebuked me. And so now they can't bring me to court because they have accepted my affidavit of truth.
Yep.
I've snookered them.
Yeah, but you know what? 98%. I know, maybe, yeah, it might be that high. Let's go with 90% to be nice. 90% of people, how do I put this in a nice term, are fucking stupid. I mean,
No, What we'll say is that they're uneducated. My people suffer for the lack of knowledge. That's what it says in the book. When you go to court, they make you put your hand on the Bible. And to swear on the Bible is blasphemy, and they know that. And when you read the King James Bible, it says clearly in there, swear not by my name or this book. Let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. And so by stepping into their court, you're automatically in their jurisdiction speaking legalese, a different language.
And I'm not, when I say most people are, I'm in that percentage too. I'm not fucking the smartest bulb on the tree.
Me too, bro.
I'm just violent enough to get there.
I'm just a layman, bro, but I'm picking up these tools as I'm getting older, learning these things.
Why is that stuck on? Oh, there we go. What's up, dude? Oh, what's up? Everyone should have some ducks in the fireplace. These are going to be cool fuckers right here. Hi, dude. Hi. Oh, that one's scared. I think this one is the male because he ain't as scared. Hi.
Phones and bills. You can't pay technically. If you only pay $1 a month, but say the government accepts the money, then they tacitly agree to the new payment agreement. But the trouble is with that, by you agreeing to pay even a single dollar, you are then accepting their fraudulence. You are being tacitly agreed to their fraudulence. And that's the mistake by paying a single dollar. Because once you have paid a single dollar to a fictitious claim, you are then duty and honor bound to pay all of it because you've acquiesced to it being so. And so that's why I refuse to give them even a dime, because I know the whole of it is fraudulent. I refuse to give them a single dime. If they think they've got a claim against me, prove it. I am not going to set up no monthly $1 a month payment system for something that's fraudulent. Bring it to me clean, come to me right. That's what I say.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why people are bent over once they've possessed anything, of any kind of value, or, it's
because they don't want it taken.
Right.
They're in fear. And that's how the system works, through putting us in fear.
Well, and most people, if they liquidated it, they'd be basically back to nothing anyway. So,
yes, if they
that's
realise the very system that's oppressing them right now is in liquidation itself since 1933, they would realise what's really fucking going on here, and they'd be able to bring them to court and state that fact, because a court only works on facts, and a court can't try a fact. There is no trial, there is no case to be heard once you bring that to the light, because they will not accept their fraudulence. They will settle you privately out of court. That's what happens.
That's why I like using prison terms, because it's in a layman's way that everyone can understand, even if you haven't been to prison. And I'll tell you what, if everyone in a prison sat down in the yard, what could they do? Nothing. Even if they brought in the National Guard, which they've done, and it's still, the resources it takes to do that are just, it's too much. Just like nowadays with building codes, if you build something on your property and you don't get all the proper procedure done and all the bonds and shit that they want, they don't have the money. There used to be a slush fund that they could come after you and maybe pay the homeowner if you were a bad contractor, all these different things. They don't have that anymore because it costs too goddamn much.
Absolutely.
So if you don't have a loan, you can go right like this and tell them to fuck right off and beat it.
Absolutely.
And I've done it, so I know
it's true. They never used to be so protective over their pension pot, but that's basically what we're fucking with now, when they're building back up their reserves of their pension pots, and they're not spending it as they should be. That's what's happening right here, right now.
Well, they've pissed so much away that they're scrambling. So
absolutely, because they're all in liquidation. This perpetual debt system is going to end, and that's why they're bringing in the digital currency, because you can't take away a perpetual debt that grows every day without a single dollar being even printed.
And people wonder where the digital currency has come from, and it's from them motherfuckers. So
exactly. And then if you owe them taxes, or you owe them any money, you won't be paying $1 a month like our brother here has just stated. They're going to take that fucker off you in one hit, as and when they feel like it, and they will shut you down if they want to. It clearly says in the book of Revelation, unless you accept the mark of the beast, there will be no buying and selling. And that's what this means by this digital currency. Hey, Larry, brother.
That's why they got rid of the barter system. That was the true natural payment, the barter system.
Trade, levy, and barter. That's the private way of doing it. But what they done was made the word trade commercial. They made it public, and that's why they started taxing people on trade.
Yep.
And whereas actual fact trade is a public. If me and you made a trade today, what's it got to do with anybody else?
Exactly.
If I swapped you today my motorbike for your snowmobile, what the fuck is that got to do with anybody else? Why is anybody else deserving of a portion of that?
And that's why they tried to get rid of a handshake deal.
Mm-hmm. Because they can't tax a handshake. They cannot tax a handshake, brother. That's why.
Yeah.
If I come and work for you for the whole of this week, then you pay me 2 sheep and 6 chickens, how the fuck can they have 20% of that?
Right. They can have the nuts.
Exactly, bro.
Off the
Exactly.
chicken.
Yes, I'll send them the feet. That's what they deserve. Lovely. But that's why they have made trade a commercial enterprise and take it from the private sector, which has always been there.
Too, Larry.
And that's why we have to be conscious of the language. We've got to be very careful about the words that are being said to us and the words that we send back, because they are all spells. We are having spells cast against us and we are casting them back unbeknownst.
Yeah. And then there was drugs. They call it dope for a reason.
They certainly do. Why drink and drive when you can smoke and fly?
Starting to warm up in here at least.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go check that actually. Oh, check the heat. Check the heat. If I wouldn't have started a fire, I'd be crying right now. Look, it's only 65 yet.
It was better in here than it did this morning.
Yeah, I bet. Oh yeah, it's blowing up through the heater. I'll give you one chicken beak and a foot, a toenail.
It's currently 71 here in your money.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking hear it. It's gonna be nice this week though, so I'll be doing a whole lot of.
Listen, brother, you have to let me revel in it because England has the shittest weather anywhere of the bloody realm.
I know it.
We know it.
I got a guy I watch on here all the time, and his wife, his family, and they're from the south of the U.S. and it's always nice there. Basically, warm. Their grass is green like yours, and he's always rubbing it in.
There's nothing wrong with having it rubbed in, brother. You're obviously lacking.
I don't mind. I bite back too. You got to be able to take it if you give it. That's all.
Exactly, brother. You know it.
And we ain't speaking like fucking on rainbows around here.
There's none of that.
Robin does.
No, I don't condone any of that stuff. It's not right. It's not okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get something to eat, and I'll try. Maybe we'll come on later, or we'll see how it goes. We've been on for over an hour and a half. Oh no,
yeah,
just coming on to an hour and a half.
It's gone quick, bro. Thanks for inviting me on. We've had a blast per usual.
All right, brother.
And we'll catch up soon. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I'm sorry we haven't read all of the comments, but me and Tom are just conversating up in here, you know, and we hope you've enjoyed yourself. We've spoke all truth today. If you want to go and look any of it up, go and look it up. Do your research, guys, because only you can protect you. We can't do it.
Yeah. Be aware is to be alive.
Absolutely.
All right. See you guys.
Okay, guys. Thank you, Tom. Bless everybody. Thank you. In a bit, bro.